Hello everybody, I hope you're having a lovely day today, and I'm here today with a speed paint, and I'm actually surprised at how quickly I managed to get this painting done. It literally only took me an hour and a half, yet I think it's probably one of the best paintings I've done recently. And I have been saying for a while I wanted to do a seasons series, so I would be doing a different portrait for every season. Now you do have to realise before I actually go into more about this piece, it wasn't initially intended to be part of this series, but then I thought because of the colours that I used and everything, it kind of ended up working in the end. So I decided I would make this portrait be the spring portrait, because originally it didn't really have many things that made it look spring-like, but then the colours I used at the end kind of, I don't really know how to explain it. It kind of gave off the feeling of spring. You'll see what I mean near the end, but then I decided it would be a really cool way to kickstart the season series. So that's what I've done today, and I also added like 2 clips into the girl's hair which have little sheep on them, because I was asking Zoe what she thought of when she thought of like spring, and she thought of like you know how loads of animals are born and like little lambs and stuff like that. So I was like, and she said that I should put 2 little sheep hair clips into the hair. So that's why I added that, and I'm really happy that I did end up adding that. I was also meant to do flowers in the background, but it was really late at night and I ended up not doing that. I kind of wish I had done it, but also I didn't really want to detract away from the portrait that I did actually do. So I'm not really sure if it would have been better had I added some flowers. I can always go back in and add the flowers, so I'll just ask you guys whether you think this would be better with or without the flowers in it. I also want to know what suggestions you have for the other seasons, because I was gonna have spring and summer be girls, and I was gonna have autumn and winter be boys. So if any of you have any idea for the kind of character I could draw for summer, what represents like summer to you, definitely let me know, because that would help me out a lot. Also, I don't know if you guys have watched yesterday's video or not, but I did a Harry Potter speed drawing, and I did it with Copic markers and colour pencils, and I haven't used Copics in so long, and I also haven't been doing many traditional videos lately, so it was just really nice to do that. It was a really nice change, and I've also changed my camera setup and where I film to do traditional videos, so if you do actually prefer that different location, it would be really helpful if you let me know about that. And I'm hoping to do a lot more traditional videos shortly, and also a lot of challenge videos. I do really want to do the drawing with a mouse challenge, because you guys may not know this, but I actually used to draw with a mouse a lot when I was about 13, until I finally got my graphics tablet. But I remember how hard it was so difficult, and my wrists would always like cramp up. So I'm really not looking forward to that challenge, but I think it would be fun to do anyway. And I recently saw Draw Jazza doing the singing while drawing challenge, and I thought that sounded like such a cool idea. That would be so fun to do. And you guys know I would definitely be singing All Star by Smash Mouth. That has got to be a must. And probably some songs from Heathers as well. But I still need to make a decision about what else I want to sing for that. And really, I just wanted to talk a bit more about the process of this, because for some reason this painting looks just so different to my normal paintings I do, and I do actually think I have a few reasons for why it looks better. So basically, it started off with a sketch that I did in my sketchbook, and I wasn't stressing out too much about it. I wasn't thinking, oh, this is going to turn into a video. I just sketched out an idea that came to my mind of a portrait, and I was actually inspired by this really, really pretty girl I saw on Pinterest, who was in like a kind of similar pose with a similar hairstyle, and I was really inspired by that image, which is actually why I went on to paint this painting. And then because I liked the sketch so much, I sent it to myself and then went over it in Krita. Now, I did what I was doing a while back in Krita, where I was actually doing the method of doing it grayscale first and then adding the colour last, because I haven't done that in a while, and now I have the experience of working with the grayscale. I realised what I was doing wrong before. I was focusing way too much on the shading and then over shading areas where it didn't need to be shaded as much as I was shading it, if that makes any kind of sense whatsoever. I think with most things, it was just kind of like a learning curve, basically working out how to do it. And now I think I've finally got the gist of it. I kind of understand how to do it. And also I wanted to add some like extreme lighting, so I added like this not a cast shadow, I don't know if you'd call it a cast light, but when a ray of light is coming down, she has like a ray of light shining onto her. And I don't know, this might sound a bit far-fetched, but because I was doing like a spring drawing, I thought having that ray of light casting down is kind of like a foreshadowing of sunshine, etc., and summer, which is to come after spring, obviously. So that might be looking a bit too deep into it, but I guess you could say that that is what the light is all about. I don't know why I'm saying I could say, because I am the one that painted the picture, so technically I could say that is the meaning of it. But yeah, as I was saying before, when I was doing my grayscale paintings before, I was doing the light parts were way too light and the dark parts were way too dark, if that makes sense. It was like overly contrasted, so then it looked weird and kind of like metallic when I was painting over it in colour, if that makes any kind of sense at all. Whereas this time around I tried to keep it soft, and then it ended up so that the final image actually kind of looked quite soft and it was really nice. So I'm really proud of this one, and I know some people said before that they actually don't like watching me do the grayscale paintings because they find it boring, in which case I'm sorry, but this is the best way for me to work in Krita, I think. Although sometimes I do work quite well with colour in Krita, so I think it just depends. Doing these kind of grayscale paintings really helps you when you actually revert back to colour again as well, because of just an understanding of depth you get from it. Oh, and you'll see right now in the video, I was trying to add like blossoms into the background, not blossoms, but like petals, flower petals, like falling down, because I didn't think it looked springy enough. I then realised I didn't really like how those petals were looking, and because I didn't do them particularly well and I couldn't be bothered to do them anymore, so then I just decided I wasn't gonna bother with those petals anymore and I deleted them. And I did try and think a lot about the colours I was using in this piece, and I actually even gave her eyeshadows that were reflecting of colours that I associate with spring. So I was doing like pastel pink, pastel green, pastel blue, pastel purple eyeshadow on her eyes, but very subtly. And then I gave her like a soft pink lipstick. Oh, I can't talk today, guys. But yeah, if you like this kind of painting and you want to see more like this, I can definitely do more. I do hopefully have my Paint Tool Sci Part 2 tutorial coming next week. And there was something else I was planning for next week, but I seriously cannot remember it now. But thank you for all your suggestions on the last video. They've been really helpful because I was kind of running out of ideas of things to paint and stuff. Oh, I remember now, I should have a Drawing Euro C's coming next weekend. And then the weekend after, fingers crossed, I'll be able to do the Drawing Your Pets, because loads of people have been emailing in pictures of their pets for me to draw. And if you didn't know about this, well, now you do. And if you want me to draw one of your pets, well, if you want the chance to have one of your pets drawn, you can email in a photo of your pets to jenna.draw2014@gmail.com with a description about the pet, their name, basically including their personality and stuff, so I know how to paint them and know a bit more about them, if that makes sense. And also a very clear photo, so I can have the best photo reference to make sure my painting is as good as it can be. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again next week. Bye guys!